All right then. Whew. Welcome to your Saturday. Oh, let me just remove a cat fingernail, cat claw. We are going to start on our backs because that is the best. Have your belt handy. It can be a yoga belt, but if you don't have that, any kind of belt will do, like a bathrobe belt or a couple of men's ties tied together, whatever you have. We're going to go onto our backs. Those of you who would like to do a little bit of chest opening, you do that. I'll take you off of your chest opening tools, which can be a rolled up cushion or your bricks in the T. I'm going to just lie down. Whew. Yeah, let's lie down and arrive on our mats. Welcome to the weekend. As you're here, take your attention to your feet and let them relax. Let your shins sink into your calves and feel your calves on your mat. Let your knees relax. Take a nice, soft, but deep inhale with me. And as you exhale, feel your thighs totally relax and go soft. Move your attention up to your belly and soften it. And on your next exhale, feel the fronts of your shoulders being drawn towards the mat, towards the earth with the pull of gravity. Opening your chest, whether you're using a tool or not. The gentle tug of gravity pulls your shoulders as your chest and heart open towards the sky and the ceiling. Move your attention to your elbows one at a time perhaps and let them go soft. Relax each wrist. And notice your fingers and let them completely go. Notice the back of your head on the mat. Let your beautiful face go soft. Total body relaxation at the beginning of class. How great is this? Ooh. And when you're ready, we're going to slide our right leg towards our chest, squeeze it in gently. Relax your shoulders. Your left leg is extended but not engaged quite yet. Just let your body be loose. If you suffer from lower back pain, try not to squeeze too hard. Just let it be nice and soft. Your shoulders, no tension. Take your hands away, relax them, and then make big circles with your knee. You're moving your joint, your hip joint, nice and big. You'd like to bring in your breath for mind-body breath connection. Inhale in one direction, switch, and exhale in the other direction. Just juicing up that hip joint a bit. Nice. Go ahead and bring the knee back into the chest, and this time, take your belt and place it across the balls of your feet. Slide your hands on either side of the strap. Place your hands on either side of the strap, I should say, and slide your hands down far enough, if your belt is long enough, that you can have your upper arms on the floor. Upper arms and shoulders are relaxed. Gently push your right heel away from your body. Now take your attention to your left heel and push that away from your body. Try to maintain your lower back curve. So instead of pushing your lower back into the floor, try to maintain a nice curve, which means you might not be able to bring your leg up to the ceiling as much as you want, but that's okay. Leaving our egos outside. Eccentric movement, so we're pushing our heel away on the left foot, pushing into the belt with our balls of the feet, strengthening and stretching at the same time. Take both ends of your strap into your right hand. Bring your left arm out perpendicular to your body. No, actually, bring your left hand to your hip, your left hip, and just place it there as a small little anchor. Open your right leg to the right side, going only as far as your inner thigh will allow. Using your right elbow as a kickstand, perhaps. Re-engage your legs by pushing into the left heel and the right ball. You can even try pushing into the right heel, bringing the toes a little bit closer towards the nose. Once you find where you're going to go, come back to paying attention to the air coming into your body and going out. Notice if you've tensed up anywhere in particular in your shoulders. Try to soften. Take a deep inhale together. And on our exhale, go ahead and bring your right leg back through the center. Take both ends of the strap into the left hand, bring the right arm out perpendicular to your body. And then bring the right leg over and across your body. Yeah, that's right. You got it. Okay. Land. And then re-engage your legs. Left leg, nice and strong. Right leg, woo, can feel that one, huh? Push through the heels and the balls, noticing where you feel the most sensation. Try not to tense. Try to soften. We're going to bring that leg back to the midline. Bend the knee in, take the belt away. And again, make big circles with that leg, as big as feels good. One way and then the other, or a couple rounds in one direction. Switching. And go ahead and lengthen that right leg down beside the left one. Take a few moments to notice the difference in the body. I'm sorry, I should have said that those of you who are in chest openers should probably not have the tools underneath your belt unless it's a soft cushion when we're doing these leg movements. My fault. Sorry. All right, we're going to do the same series on the second side. So bring your left knee in towards your chest, giving it a little bit of a squeeze. Unless you are overstretched in that area already, then try to just back off a bit. Just as you're here, you might think about an intention. Maybe it is, can I soften today? Maybe you're working on something individually. Can I focus, be on my mat just for this hour and 15 minutes? Whatever it is, perhaps you want to dedicate this time to somebody who needs some extra attention and love today. Take your hands away. Make big circles with this leg. With this knee, the leg is bent, drawing circles on your ceiling or on the sky, maybe outlining a cloud if you're fortunate enough to be outside. Wherever you're at, try to imagine the smell of a fireplace, because that's my space right now. All right. Nice and juiced up that is. Bring your knee back in. Take your belt and place it again. Place it across the balls of the feet today. So I have to bring my chest up a bit and lengthening my left leg out. And then I'm going to slide my hands down my strap or my belt so that I can relax my shoulders. Now you might feel like you have a pretty tight grip with your hands on your belt, so try to relax them. Bring your attention to your lower back. Have you pushed it into the floor? If so, lower your leg a little bit more towards the floor so the natural curve can come back. Take a couple breaths, nice and complete. Soften, soften, soften. And now we'll engage, pushing out through both heels, pushing into the belt with the ball of your feet. Can you have engaged legs but relaxed shoulders? Take both ends of your strap into your left hand. Bring your right hand down to your right hip, placing it there gently. It doesn't have to stay anchored to the floor, but it's heavy. Open your right leg or your left leg over to the left side. Again, soften your shoulders. Feel the stretch first. And then make it an eccentric movement by pushing out through your heels, both heels, and into the strap with the ball of your left foot. Bring your foot back to the midline. Let's take both ends of the strap into the right hand. Bring the left arm out perpendicular to your body and move your leg over to the right side of your mat. Your left shoulder can come up. It's not anchored down. Feeling the stretch for the first couple of breaths. And then strengthen and stretch at the same time by engaging your legs. Take a deep inhale together. Feel the love. Beautiful people on my screen. Come back to the center. Bend the left leg. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. My left and my rights are getting mixed up already. Good thing Andrea is going to take over. Ha. We're back in the center. The belt is off. And we're going to make big circles. Feels nice. I feel so like a little bit of a butt massage. All right. Let's lengthen that leg out and just feel how tall I am. Oh my God, I'm almost as tall as Andrea and Naomi now. Ooh. Nice. Length. All righty. Slide your heels towards your bum. Come to one side. And bring it on up. Let's move it into tabletop position. Please use your cushion under your knees so that you can do yoga forever. Here we are in our tabletop position. Wrists are underneath elbows. Elbows are underneath showers or shoulders. My mind was already ahead of me. What I wanted to mention is that if you're feeling a little bit of extra achiness in your wrists, bring them a little bit further ahead than in line with your shoulders. Actively engage your core by bringing your belly button towards your spine, but keep a nice open chest. Chest open, shoulders moving away from one another. Take your right leg and bring it out. And then try to keep your pelvis square to the floor. Bend your right leg and make little pulses towards the sky or the ceiling. Very little. Small movements, mighty but powerful. Or small but mighty. Small but powerful. And then go ahead and lengthen that leg out, push out through your heel, and again, make small little pulses. Up and down. With a long leg, you got it. Go ahead and bring that leg back. So you're back in your tabletop. Move back into your child's posture, feeling the difference between the two sides. Maybe it's not such a drastic difference. Maybe it's just small. And then bring it back into your tabletop. Lean over to your left and bring your right foot in between your hands. Yes, we're moving into a low lunge with the right foot in front. Slide your left knee back as far as it will go so that you're not on your kneecap. You're a little bit above. There you go, nice. Press down into the top of your left foot. Long neck. And then go ahead and slide your bum back over your knee and bring it back into your tabletop. Long line from the top of your head out through your tailbone. Shoulders are moving away from one another. Engage your belly by bringing your belly button towards your spine. But don't round up. Keep it nice and long. Take your left foot up towards the air. Your leg is bent. Don't try not to open your hips, but keep the hips pointing towards the floor with a flexed foot and your breath. Inhale, small pulse up, exhale down. Keeping that glute engaged, lengthen your leg. Toes are pointed towards the floor. Again, keep your pelvis square to the floor. Pulse up and down with a lengthened leg. Ooh, doggy. Bring that leg down. Move it back into your child's posture. If your hands or your shoulders are achy, take advantage of this rest time and bring them down beside your body. Forehead can be on the floor or under a brick or to the side even if you can't breathe. Where can you get to that you can release the work that you've just done? Go ahead and bring it back into your tabletop. Lean over to the right side and bring your left foot to the front. Low lunge on the left. So you can slide that front foot forward or slide the back knee back. Long spine. Pushing into the top of the right foot. Bringing your bum back over your knee. Lengthen out your left leg. I'm up on my tippy toes. You might have your bricks handy. That would be even better to keep your back nice and long. Now what we're going to do is bring our toes towards our knees or our nose. Ooh, boy, huh? Make it a strengthening movement by pushing your heel in towards the floor, and without moving your heel, try to bring it back towards your body. You need to keep your knee bent a little bit, do so. Remember, nothing behind the knee should be hurting. Go ahead and bring your knee back out over your ankle. Switch sides. Right foot comes between your hands. Left knee is back out over or underneath your hips. Right Leg is long in front. Nice long back. Toes towards your nose. Feel the sensation along the back of your leg. Perhaps a stretching sensation. And then you're going to press your heel into the floor gently, and without moving it, the action of pulling your heel towards your body, back towards your torso. And we're going to bring our knee back out over our ankle, slip it back so that we're in our tabletop. Open your knees as much as feels comfortable for a wide leg child's posture. Yeah. We'll leave you here and turn it over to Andrea.
From here, settling a little bit more deeply. We begin pushing from the hands back towards the heels. Thank you, DiDi, for that lovely wake up and warm up. Everything feels so good. So maybe bringing the fingertips to the mat, bringing the palm up so that the fingers are tinted, pushing with the fingers back towards the hips. You could wiggle the hips from side to side if that feels good. Maybe walking the fingertips slightly more forward. And then from here, inhaling, beginning looking to the front of the mat, shifting back to the tabletop. And as we come to the tabletop, tucking the toes. So first, just begin stretching the feet. So as we tuck the toes, maybe pushing back a little bit, lengthen the bottoms of the feet. And then from here, picking the knees up off the floor, keeping the knees bent, pushing the hips back towards the back of the mat, and then pushing the hips up towards the sky. Inhaling, coming all the way up to the tippy toes, and then lengthening the back of the legs. Maybe shaking the head, yes, no, up and down. And then bending the knees again, and exhaling, letting the heels sink a little bit closer to the floor. Then from here, again, making the movements that you like, maybe walking back and forth, taking one heel to the floor, then the other. Maybe moving the hips from side to side. Pushing out of the hands, out of the arms, pushing the weight back towards the legs as we move here. And bringing that belly button in. And as we do, feeling how the organs shift upwards, how the lower tummy hollows out. Then from here, looking to the front of the mat, beginning walking, taking tiny steps, a lot of steps to the front of the mat. And from here, bending the knees deeply, exhaling, releasing forward. So letting the palms face up, letting the shoulders round forward, letting the head release. Taking one deep breath, exhaling, releasing all of the air. And then inhaling, coming up, finding that long, flat back. Parallel to the floor. Pausing here. You can always keep the knees bent here. Reaching from the sit bones all the way up through the crown of the head. And then bending the knees again, exhaling, releasing forward. Inhaling again, long, flat spine. Bending the knees, exhaling, releasing. Last time like that, inhaling, lengthening. Bending the knees, exhaling. And then inhaling, sweeping the arms all the way up overhead. Reaching up through the fingertips, coming up on the tiptoes, becoming even a little bit more tall. Exhaling, letting the feet sink back down to the floor. Taking the right wrist with the left hand, exhaling, side stretch, reaching over towards the left side. One more breath here. And inhaling, coming back to center. Taking the left wrist with the right hand, exhaling over towards the right. Just using the breath to lengthen through the arms, to feel the stretch through the side body. And then coming back to center, inhaling, pushing the hips slightly forward, opening the chest towards the sky, and exhaling the hands to the chest. So at the front of the mat, then we'll begin a little bit of a flowy sequence. So we're going to inhale, reaching up towards the sky, and exhaling the hands through the center, bending the knees, folding at the hips, releasing forward. Inhaling to the nice long flat back, and then bending the knees, exhaling, releasing forward. This time, either walking the hands over towards the left side of the mat, letting the head release down, or if you have the hands on the leg, then you can just walk both hands over to the left leg. And just pausing here. Combining the movements with your breath, walking the hands back through the center and over towards the right side. And walking the hands back to center. Inhaling, nice long flat back again. Exhaling, releasing. And from here, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to let the sit bones sink down. So we're going to come into our chair pose, flying the arms back and then up, reaching the arms up towards the sky in our chair pose, having a seat. Letting the shoulders sink down, letting the shoulder blades come closer together to open the chest. And leaving the arms here, we're going to begin bringing the weight onto the right foot as we reach the left foot to the back of the mat, softly, softly landing the toes and just coming back into our high lunge. And so you know that you can wiggle the toes, the back toes backwards or forwards to find that natural curve in the back that we felt with DiDi on the floor. So not erasing it, not making it too big. You can also bend that back knee to find more of a curve, a bit straighter for less of a curve. So just exploring that, finding where it feels good, where you do find the length. Holding for another breath. Maybe one more time. Inhaling, straightening that front leg, reaching up towards the sky. And then exhaling, coming back down, bending that front leg just a little bit more. High lunge. Sinking back into the lunge. From here, we'll move into warrior one. You can bring the hands to the chest first. All we're going to do is hop that back leg in, maybe out slightly, and land that back foot on the floor so that the back edge of the foot has a nice strong contact with the floor. Once you found that, then we're gonna work on the upper body. So you can interlace the fingers behind. You could take the elbows in the hands. Either way, but first, just pausing here. So opening the chest, feeling the weight even through both feet. Maybe picking up the front toes and then just letting them sink back down softly, softly. See if we can feel the work in both legs as we stay here. Coming a little bit taller out the crown of the head. And from here, we're gonna bow forward. So we're gonna go super slow as we really push through that back leg and we lengthen up all the way out through the spine, through the crown of the head. The beginning, making our way forward towards the inside of the front leg. Reaching, 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 reaching through the crown of the head. And once we land here, you can release the arms and just fly them beside the body so that the hands are parallel to the floor. And if you'd like here, you can come into your airplane pose or your warrior three. If you're coming to the airplane, maybe you're just shifting to the toes on the back foot. You can begin straightening the front leg or maybe floating the back leg off the floor. So it's all just an option. Finishing this little series with a little balance pose. When it's enough, landing the left foot next to the right, both knees are bent, inhaling, reaching up. We finish in our chair here. Inhaling, opening, and let's exhale and just come to stand. The hands at the chest. We're feeling the work that was done on that side. And then as you're ready here, we're gonna inhale and reaching up again. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling to a nice long flat back again, remembering to bring the tummy in, protecting the low back. Exhaling, releasing forward, bending the knees again. So coming into our chair pose again, floating the arms back, opening the chest. And then as we come to rise, just reaching the arms to the sky, staying in our chair pose. Taking a couple of breaths here. Again, bringing the weight into the left foot, coming on the tip toes of the right foot. And then we're just gonna reach the right toes to the back of the mat, high lunge. Left leg stays forward. And so again, exploring to find that nice posture for you. Keeping the chest nice and open. Yes, very nice, very nice, very nice. You can always reach up a little bit more out of the fingertips. Or maybe we can open the chest more by bending the elbows out to the sides. And then from here, inhaling, straightening the front leg, reaching up out of the fingertips, reaching high, high, high. Exhaling, sinking back down. Maybe we find a deeper lunge. Very nice. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands into the chest. We're going to transfer to our warrior one. So really, we're just moving that back foot, maybe hopping it in and out so that we can land that whole foot on the floor. Once we have that, we can still feel the work in the front leg, pushing through the outer edge of the back foot. And then if you like, inhaling the arms up, and then we'll just continue on to bring the arms behind the body. So if you like to interlace the fingers or take the elbows in the hands, maybe you can stack the arms differently or interlace the fingers the opposite way. Inhaling, becoming tall here, and just pausing. Feeling the strong work in the legs. And then as you're ready, we're gonna bow forward. So taking the time to feel that contact with the back foot as if we're reaching out of that back foot. So feeling the length from the heel to the hip, from the hip to the shoulder, out the crown of the head, feeling that whole length. And then once we get here, releasing the arms, flying the arms back beside the body. And if you'd like to come to that balance, maybe transferring to the tip toes of the right foot, staying right here, a version of airplane pose, or maybe floating, flying that back foot, warrior three. Whenever it's enough, bringing the right foot back next to the left, having a seat. Inhaling, reaching up, chair pose. And then let's bring the hands through the center, exhaling forward. And just releasing here, maybe taking the elbows in the hands now, ragdoll pose, bending the knees deeply, Letting the head release, just softening here for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, releasing the arms and bending the knees and inhaling, reaching all the way up towards the sky. Exhaling the hands. We're going to continue on, leaving the right foot forward. We're going to step the left foot back, giant step back, warrior two. So finding our warrior two, right foot stays forward, left foot stays back. And then finding that same strong contact back through the whole outer edge of the back foot, all the way up the leg, all the way up to the shoulder, sinking down, opening the hips, and eventually reaching in both directions. So as we reach here today, let's turn the back palm up towards the sky, and let's pull that back thumb back, and then turning the back palm back over. So feeling that openness through the shoulder, turning the front palm up, pulling that front thumb out towards the right, and then turning that palm back over. So feeling a little bit more openness in the chest. Taking a breath, warrior two. From here, we're gonna continue on. We're gonna transfer to our triangle pose. So same arms, but straightening the front leg. And so as we straighten the front leg, maybe pushing the hips slightly forward. We're gonna keep those arms. We're just gonna tilt forward, coming into our triangle. So nice long arms. And just letting that right front arm come to the inside of the leg, wherever it lands here. Reaching the left arm up, reaching the right arm down, opening across the chest. Noticing if we grow while we're here. So activating here the lower tummy before we start to go anywhere else, just making sure that it's engaged. And then coming back with the arms first, reaching the arms in both directions. We're gonna sink back down to warrior two, sinking forward in that front knee. And now we're gonna bring the right hand into the heart. So bringing the right hand to the heart. We're gonna lean forward, right elbow comes to the top of the right knee, and reaching the left arm up towards the sky. So a version of side angle. You can leave this top arm right where it is. You could bend the left elbow, bringing the left hand to the base of the head, of the skull, and pushing the head back to the hand, and pointing the elbow up towards the sky, maybe getting a little bit more openness, just something different to try out. When you're ready to release, reaching the left arm back up, coming back up, warrior two, reaching the right arm forward, looking forward, stepping the left foot forward to meet the right. And then we'll start on the opposite side. So this time left foot stays and right foot reaches back, warrior two. As we sink down here, feeling the legs first, feeling that the back leg super strong, super strong. So pushing out through that outer edge of the back leg. And then reaching the arms out, turning the back palm up, just one by one, bringing the back thumb back. And then turning that palm around, turning the front palm up, pulling that thumb open, and turning that palm around. So we have a little bit more openness through the chest. Nice strong work with the arms. Taking a breath, reaching up through the crown of the head, staying nice and tall. And then from here, we'll come into our triangle pose. So straightening that front leg. Keep a slight bend in the front knee or not. And then just tilting forward. So staying long. Left hand comes to the inside of the leg, right arm reaches up. Once you get here, you might feel that you can push the hips slightly forward. And if we do, then that allows to open the chest, become a little bit taller. And that's enough, reaching in both directions again. Warrior two arms sinking back down, warrior two legs. So sinking back down into that front leg. Left hand comes to the heart, and then we're gonna tilt forward. Left elbow comes to the top of the left leg, and reaching the right arm up. So a version of side angle. You can continue reaching up with the right arm, bending the right elbow, bringing the right hand to the back of the head, and then opening the chest, pushing the hand into the head. Taking another breath. When you're ready, reaching the right arm back up towards the sky, using that right arm to pull back up, releasing the left arm, warrior two. And then from here, bringing the hands into the chest and stepping the back foot forward so both feet come to the front of the mat. So continue working on these lines in the legs. We're gonna find our balance here. And we're gonna bring the right knee up towards the chest. So with hug the right knee, you can bring the hands to the knee first here. But now the knee and the hip are open with all the work that DiDi did at the beginning. Maybe you eventually bring that left hand to the left hip, or maybe eventually opening that right leg out to wide. Now, if you have the extended version, you can bring the fingers to the toes, stretching the leg out and opening the leg out to the side. So whatever version you're working on, just staying tall out of that standing leg. So somehow staying light out of the standing leg. As we bring the right knee back to the center, we're gonna bend the right knee to bring the knees even with each other. We're gonna kick the right heel up towards the right buttock. So we can stay right here, version one. We can grab onto that the top of the right foot, keeping the knees in line. So there's already action here. If you flex that back foot, and from here we can reach the left arm up towards the sky. So this is work right here. This might be enough for today. Staying right here, or bringing that right hand to the inside of the right foot. You can come to your dancer pose if you'd like. So pushing the right foot into the hand and eventually leaning forward, pushing the right knee up towards the sky and reaching out the left hand. Very good, very good, very good. Creating some tension in that back leg by pushing the top of the back foot into the hand. Yep. Coming out as slowly as we came in, step by step, bringing the knees together first, releasing that leg down. Okay, so balance posture. Besides all of the physical things that we need, we also have to find something that has that gaze, the firm gaze, some stability. We can always use the wall or something that's around just to feel it. This time, keeping the right foot on the floor, bringing the left knee up. We can begin by hugging that left knee in towards the chest and finding a balance here. So being tall here. We can make circles with the ankle while we hang out here for a moment. And then eventually right hand comes to the right hip and maybe opening that left leg out towards the side or working with your extended version. Feeling the hip opening as we pause here. Coming a little bit tall and a little bit lighter out of the standing leg so that we're not pushing that hip out towards the side. And then bringing the knee back. And then bringing the knees in line and kicking that left heel up towards the left buttock. Taking the left hand, we can grab the top of that left foot. And maybe this is as far as we're going today. Maybe that's quite enough already, the stretch in the front of the left foot and that of the left leg. And that's good. Staying right here, maybe reaching up out of the right arm, or maybe flipping the grip to the inside of the left foot, pushing the top of the foot into the hand, and then traveling forward. If there's space, if there's room, just taking a couple of breaths here. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We're already coming back step by step, seeing if we can come back as slowly and intentionally as we came in, bringing the right arm up, and then releasing the left foot to the floor. Okay, very nice. So from here, we're gonna continue at the front of the mat. So coming to stand at the front of the mat, we're gonna release some of these things in the hips now by coming down to the floor. So as you're ready here, inhaling, we're gonna reach up all the way up through the fingertips, and then exhaling through the center. So we're gonna flow to the floor, bending the knees, folding forward. Inhaling, nice long flat back. Exhaling, planting the hands, bending the knees, stepping the left foot back, stepping the right foot back, and let's just land in down dog. Meeting here for the second time today. Feeling if there's any difference in the length of the legs. And then bringing the knees down to the floor. So from here, coming back to child's pose just for a moment, the version that you'd like, letting the hips sink down, letting the head sink down to the floor, or grabbing a block. Taking another breath here. Reaching out through the fingertips towards the top of the mat again. Bringing the fingertips to the mat, pushing from the fingertips back down to the hips, pushing the hips down towards the heels. And then inhaling, coming back up to tabletop. From tabletop, we're gonna come down to lie on the tummy. You can come down through a little push-up, hugging the elbows into the body. And then releasing the hands down alongside the body. So just letting the head come down to the floor for a moment. And then from here, looking slightly forward, we're gonna come to a first locust pose. So bringing that space above the pubic bone in just slightly, bringing the shoulders up, back, and down, and opening the chest. So we're already looking forward with an open chest, and then floating the legs from the base of the buttocks and floating the arms. Inhaling, taking a couple of breaths here. Pushing the hands and the legs up maybe just a little bit more. And then exhaling, releasing down to the floor. Taking a break, taking a breath. Looking forward again, this time second version. You can do a version that you have on your favorite list, or maybe interlacing the fingers in the back. And same thing here then, opening the chest, feeling that space above the pubic bone, floating the legs, and then maybe pulling the hands down and away, or maybe bringing the hands away from the body. So bringing the arms up slightly, but still trying to keep the shoulders coming away from the ears. Very nice. And then exhaling, releasing everything back down to the floor. We're going to continue on as we build up just a little bit more, coming into our Sphinx pose. So bringing the elbows right underneath the shoulders with the hands on the floor. Coming to our first version of the Sphinx pose. So we're going to grab onto the floor, so to say, with the hands. We're going to pull the floor back towards the body as we open the chest forward. Reaching out through the toes, becoming taller through the crown of the head, and opening the chest. Taking 3 deep breaths here, Sphinx pose. And then exhaling, just releasing that, releasing the head. Taking the left hand, maybe we move the left elbow slightly more forward, and we're going to bend the left forearm so that it's parallel to the front of the mat. From here, we're going to bend the right knee. We're going to flex the right foot up towards the sky, and with the right hand, maybe taking the right ankle. So usually we would take it on the inside of the ankle. And from here, we're going to come into a little version of a half bow. So pushing the right knee up, opening the chest here. Bringing the right knee down, bringing the right hand forward, bringing both elbows underneath the shoulders again. Inhaling, opening Sphinx pose, coming back to center, becoming super long and tall. Next, exhale, releasing, softening, bending the right elbow so the right hand comes parallel to the front of the mat, bending the left knee, and bringing that left hand around so that the left hand comes to the inside of that leg and flexing the left foot. So the bottom of the left foot is looking up towards the sky. And then from here, as you're ready, bringing the left knee off the floor, pushing the left leg back towards the left hand, and opening the chest. Letting the left knee come back down. Left hand comes back forward. One more time. Last time in Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders. Inhaling, opening the chest. And then exhaling, opening the elbows, letting the head release onto the hands for a moment. And then last little work here in this little series. So checking that the feet are hip width apart, we're gonna bend the knees. We're gonna reach the hands back beside the body. We can practice coming to bow pose, or you can practice coming back to a locust pose, one of the first versions that we practice. So whichever one you'd like to practice. If you're practicing the bow pose, then we're gonna reach the hands back towards the heels, maybe grabbing the heels at the same time, flexing the feet again, so the bottoms of the feet look up towards the sky, and then bringing the knees up, opening the chest. So floating the knees, floating the chest. See if we can keep the knees, the hips, knees at hip width apart. Using the breath to rock up and down, back and forth. And then exhaling, letting the knees come back to the floor, letting the head rest, letting the shoulders slump forward towards the floor. When you're ready, bringing the hands back beside the chest, hugging the elbows into the body, bringing the knees forward a little bit, and just coming back up and coming back into your child's pose. So this will give us a little counter posture to those back bends. Bringing the big toes together, the knees to the side of the mat. It might be a little bit tender there, and that's okay, just moving slowly, slowly, and maybe getting a block for the head or letting the head release to the fists. Releasing here, and I'll turn it over to DiDi to get us unwound now.
Beautiful. I feel great. I hope you feel as great as I do. Oh, thank you. Awesome. So from our child's posture, I'd like you to walk both of your hands over to the right side of your mat. Walk both your hands to the right side of your mat, and then place your left hand on top of your right one. Let there be a long line from that left hand to the left sitting bone. Walk both hands back to the center. Find your long, normal, beautiful child's posture. If this isn't beautiful to you, come up into your tabletop. And then we'll walk both hands over to the other side of the mat, placing the opposite hand on top. Nice long line on the outside. Mine's my right hand and my right sitting bone. And again, back to center. And you're going to lengthen out, moving your knees away towards the back of your mat, coming into a knee plank, activating your belly by bringing it gently in towards your back, keeping an open chest. So many rules, hey? Elbows in towards your ribs, come all the way down to the floor, onto your belly, and then onto your back. Good. Lengthen your legs by pushing gently into the opposite wall that you can feel and imagine there. Middle of your heels, the big toe joint, the baby toe joint, everything is lengthened, 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 and your elbows are soft, your shoulders are soft, your chest is open. And release. Let everything relax. Slide your feet towards your bum. Your knees are a little bit behind your ankles. With your legs bent, hip width apart, push into your feet just as if you were in your wall just now. And then lift your hips into a small little bridge. Bring one shoulder underneath, let the other one come to meet, and maybe you can interlace your hands, maybe not. Shoulders are together so that nothing of your spine or your neck is on the floor. With all of the leg work we've been doing and the back bending that Andrea took us through, you can probably have a pretty solid bridge. Let the back of your body work, but don't clench. Nice, smooth breath. Let your finger bind go and bring your body down as one unit. So not vertebra by vertebra, but just one unit, just to keep a little bit of strength building in your core. All the way down. Once your sacrum hits, let your normal back, lower back come into its curve. Take your right leg up towards the sky or ceiling, bend it, place the right ankle on the left knee. Bring your arms out perpendicular to your body, and on your next exhale, take your right foot over to the left side for a nice little gentle spinal twist and a massage on the left glute. Yeah, so that's it, Judy. Yeah. Your shoulders can come off the floor or your mat if they need to. They just feel heavy. And if you'd like to bring your cervical spine into it, bring your face over to the right side of your mat or turn your head to the right side. Take notice if you've tensed up anywhere and try to soften. If you need to try to soften with your exhale, perhaps that will help. If you've moved your head or your face towards the right, bring your nose back towards your ceiling or sky. Slowly, slowly, slowly bring both knees back toward the midline. Undo the cross of the foot so both soles of your feet are on the floor. Gently windshield wash your knees from side to side. And then we're going to move this to the other side. So when you come back through the mid, stay there. Take your left foot towards the ceiling or sky. Bend the left leg. Place the left ankle on the right knee. And on your exhale, bring the sole of the left foot down to the right side of your mat. Land in that position. And then if you feel you have a little more space, turn your head towards the left. Notice if you've tensed anywhere and soften those parts. Bring your face back towards the ceiling or the sky. Both knees back to the middle, to the midline. Undo the cross. Both soles of your feet down on the floor, maybe opening them up a little bit wider than your hips, maybe even to the outside of your mat. And then windshield washing your knees side to side like a North American car, or in and out. You got a special European version. And then bring your arms a little bit closer to your body, but you've got your space. Take up as much as you want. Lengthen your legs out. Stretch any way that you need to. Do anything that you need to do before you totally surrender to your mat for your Savasana. Yeah, if you feel like you need to cover up, I totally understand. Do whatever you need to so that you can totally, totally relax and take rest. If you've decided that this feels oh so awesome and you're going to stay, you stay. You deserve it. If that's not possible, know that you did give yourself the gift that is yoga. Send some loving gratitude towards yourself. And begin to move any way that you need to. But try to make it gentle so that your nervous system isn't shocked. Maintaining some of the bliss of your savasana. Stretching and moving gently. Sliding your heels finally towards your bum, coming to one side. As you're here, sending peace, love, serenity to places that might need it, maybe mat. Take your top hand, bring it help it to bring you up. You can tell I probably would have stayed. Feel free to bring your hands to your heart, keeping your eyes closed. We'll sing Om and we'll stop the recording.